Okay, so a really nice stretchy flow for our upper back today. Grab some blocks. If you don't have blocks, kitchen roll will also work. Okay, coming all the way down to our back, grabbing the blocks, taking them with you. So, grabbing one of your blocks, maybe two of your blocks, depending on how you feel, how open you feel already. You're going to place them in a T, like so. And this is exactly the same if you're using your kitchen roll as well. So this T, this long side, this is going to be going straight down your spine. And the other one is going to be resting your head. But you don't have to have it. If you feel comfortable with your head just hanging back, then you can do that as well. So set that up and then come all the way down. It's going to require a bit of wiggling around. And you're going to want it just in the mid-back. So it's just about reaching in between the shoulder blades. And then you can rest your head onto the other block. So wiggle around until you feel comfortable, and then your feet can be planted on the ground, knees up. And then have your hands out to the side, palms facing up so it allows that rotation to give your shoulders that space to roll back. Now if this feels really, really super uncomfortable, what you could try instead to create the same kind of stretch in the upper back, with your blocks or with your kitchen rolls, you put them either side of your mat, coming down onto your bellies, and then you place your forearms onto them, forehead down. So you're in this cactus arm position, your elbows are away from your shoulders, and whatever height you want to place your blocks on. So this is going to be the same kind of motion, but a lot gentler. So give it a go wherever you are, and we're going to just hold this for a few minutes at the start. Really breathing here, taking that breath in through the nose, out through the nose, closing down the eyes. Feeling this chest lifting up to the sky as those shoulders fall down to the ground. Really feel this belly expanding to its full capacity before you exhale. Maybe you find that there's a bit more space in the chest where we're creating this opening. Then you can start to take that breath all the way up to the collarbone. Wherever you are, take 2 more really deep inhales and exhales. At the end of the last exhale, slowly tuck the chin if you're on your blocks and just roll over to one side, taking these blocks away. If you're on your bellies, just roll back over to your back. Coming back down, knock the knees in, so feet to the outside edges of the mat. Hands down by the sides, palms facing up. And just allow yourself to settle back in here. Not doing too sudden movements with our backs. Coming into a supine twist now, taking the left leg long, hugging the right knee into our chest, coming onto the outside of the left hip, and then taking that right knee over to the left. Right hand out to the side, take that gaze over to the right, keep pulling this right shoulder down to the ground. Trying to grow that distance between the right foot all the way up to the right shoulder through to the right hand. Massaging all of those internal organs. If you want a deeper stretch, come into cat pulling its tail so you can bend up this left leg. Take the right hand to meet the left leg just on the front of that foot, and then pull the left foot into the right hand into the left foot. At the same time, you're still coming into this twist, so you still want to keep pulling the right shoulder down to the ground, starting to wake up that left hamstring. Inhale, slowly roll all the way back through center, over to the other side. Right leg long to the outside of that right hip. Left knee over to the right. Left hand out to the side, gaze left. Keep drawing that left shoulder to the ground. Continuing with these nice big inhales and exhales. Maybe you go into cat pulling its tail, left hand to the right foot. Pull the right foot into the left hand into the right foot whilst you spin that left shoulder still close to the ground. Waking up this right hamstring. Keep drawing the left knee closer to the right side. Inhale all the way back through center. Hugging the knees into the chest, drawing those knees closer, further down. Really, really tight into you. And then maybe you roll over to the side, or you rock and roll up the mat through seating into your all fours. Now all fours can absolutely be replaced for sitting down if that's more comfortable on your knees. So you either do seated cat-cows or kneeling. Big inhale, drop the pelvis, start to take the gaze up, pulling the hands back. If you're seated exactly the same, you can put your hands onto your thighs and then inhale, pull the shoulder blades together, stick the bum out, gaze up. Exhale, push the mat away, tuck the chin to the chest. Really round your back, separate the shoulder blades, pull that belly to the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more big inhale all the way to the end of that inhale. And then exhale fully. Coming back to your all fours, coming into thread the needle again. If you're seated, you can just cross one arm over the other and link it like so. Inhaling, left hand up to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, take that left hand between the gap of the right hand and right thigh, left ear to the ground. Think about these hips, so take your right hand just on top of the hips onto the tailbone. Just make sure that left hip isn't dipping down. Maybe you take that right hand in front of you. Breathing here. Place that right hand back by your face. Big inhale all the way back up. Other side, inhale, right hand high, gaze up. Exhale, thread the needle, right ear to the ground. Check that those hips are square, you're not dipping down through that right hip. Maybe you take that left hand long. Final inhale. Exhale. Place that left hand back. Big inhale all the way up. Grabbing one of your blocks or your kitchen rolls. This is going to feel super strange, but it is so great to massage our internal organs and really nice for our lower back. So grabbing one block lengthways, placing it really close up to these hip creases, and then it works for me to almost like bring my stomach over it, just so this block can go even closer to the hip points. So I have to kind of move my paunch, as it were. And then start to come all the way down, so you've got your knees together, feet together. Maybe you even grab this other block as well. And then come all the way down. Might feel nice to rest the forehead onto this other block. Hands behind you, just allowing those shoulders to fall inwards. Sometimes with our child's pose, there's quite a lot of strain on our lower back, because essentially it is a forward fold. So just creating this extra bit of space could just feel a bit more accessible. And any time that we put any kind of twists or pressure onto our digestive organs, as soon as that pressure or that twist is relieved, then there's a whole new blood flow that goes straight to that area, really helping to re-energize and boost our digestive system. So perfect in the morning, if you know what I mean. Really allow that torso to sink further down to the thighs as much as possible with that block there. Taking that breath like we've been doing into the back and sides of the ribs, as that stomach is a little bit claustrophobic, but we know that we've got space to breathe in lots of other areas. Inhale, really slowly coming all the way up, back to kneeling. Okay, grabbing our block, coming into some nice tricep extensions, still working with this really great upper back strength and stretching. Hands either side of the block, or again the kitchen roll. And then we're going to take our hands all the way out in front, so they're shoulders height. And then on your inhale, you're going to take your hands all the way up as close as you can, so that your biceps are by your ears, but without starting to pull this chest through, because that just means that we're not so mobile in our upper back, And we have to create the mobility from our lower backs, which we don't want to do. We don't want our lower back to be mobile, we just want it to be stable. So inhale, push the hands into the block, take that block as high up overhead as you can, keeping this rib cage contained. And then all the way back down. You might find that as we warm up, that you can take those arms closer to the ears. Come through 3 more repetitions all the way up and down. Really think about that rib cage pulling in. Okay, 1 more for me. All the way down, really nice. All the way back up. And we're just going to take 5 really slow tricep extensions. Now you do not have to have the block for this part. You can just put your hands together if you want. That's going to be a bit easier. Hands all the way up. Push the energy through the block. Keeping the elbows high to the sky and drawing inwards. We want them parallel. Taking this block to the upper back. Again, thinking about this rib cage being contained. This is amazing for our shoulder mobility and our upper back mobility. Inhale all the way back up. So come through 5 repetitions, however slowly you want to go. Keep thinking about those elbows drawing up to the sky and keeping them closer to your face than allowing them to draw outwards. I've got 1 more after this. Oh, all the way down. Swinging over onto one hip so you can bring your legs all the way through. Coming into a nice twist, taking this right leg over the left. Left hand onto the right outer thigh. And just start to spin around here, right hand behind. Big inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, twist. Now really think about this right hip being grounded onto the floor. If you feel like in this grip here that you're starting to lift your hip up, then just take your hand away, so further up the leg rather than all the way down here, and then you don't have those square hips anymore. So you can take your hand just up by your knee, that's absolutely fine. Final inhale. Exhale all the way back round, other side. Left foot crossing over the right thigh. Coming into this twist. Really think about that right rib cage, the right oblique, spinning round to the left. Inhale all the way around. We're going to keep spinning round so that we end up in a low lunge. So you've got your left foot all the way forward in this low lunge. You can absolutely have your knee down. Low lunge. Breathing here. Thinking about this chest being nice and lifted, shoulder blades drawing together. And then big inhale, we're going to come into a twist, sweeping this left hand high and then twisting over this left leg. So our right arm is front, our left arm is behind, keeping nice and tall. A nice deep bend in this front leg. Really thinking about this left hip dropping down. We don't want it picking up, we want those hips to be square. Reaching those hands really long away from one another. Final inhale. Exhale all the way into our warrior 2. So we've got our feet a good distance apart. Taking this right foot so it's facing straight out to the side. And then a nice bend through this left knee. Making sure that the knee isn't over the ankle and it's tracking towards the little toe side of the foot. Think about this pelvis being tucked in. Shoulders square to the side of the mat. Reaching those hands away from one another. Inhale, reach forward as far as you can before sweeping this left hand all the way up and over, resting this right hand onto that right leg, keeping that bend through the front leg. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down to the ground, back through your low lunge. And then exhale, starting to straighten through this left leg as much as you can, keeping a nice upright position in the chest. Breathing here, keeping onto the ball of the foot with the right foot. Planting the hands down, maybe you bend that left leg, and then pick up that left foot straight through into our first downward dog. Feet and hands hips width, shoulders width apart, spreading those fingers. Thinking about the thumb and the index finger really spread nicely to the ground. Drawing those shoulders away from the ears, separating the shoulder blades. Belly button is pulling into the spine. And you're not pushing through those shoulders, so the shoulders are nice and contained as well as the rib cage. Absolutely a bend in the legs, heels off the ground is more than fine. Inhale, bring this right knee all the way through, placing this right foot to the ground. Maybe you give it a helping hand into your low lunge. Staying here, feeling this hip flexor on the left side stretching out. Inhale, sweep all the way up into this twist, so right hand goes back, left hand comes forward. Big bend in this right leg. Think about the left rib cage spinning round, drawing the shoulder blades together. And then exhale all the way into your warrior two. Really settling in here, pelvis tucking under, activating your core, sinking down. Inhale, reach as far forward as you can before sweeping this hand up and over into your reverse warrior. Breathing here. And then exhale, hands come all the way down to your low lunge again. Exhale, start to straighten through the right leg as much as you can. Keeping the chest nice and bright, nice and open, drawing the shoulder blades together. Maybe you bend through that front leg again to plant the hands to the ground. Big inhale, keep this thigh as close to the chest as possible. Stepping straight back into your downward dog. Inhale, left leg all the way up to the sky, toes are pointing straight down. Exhale, tiger curl, so bending the left knee, coming to the tippy toes of the right foot, drawing the left knee all the way through to the nose, pushing the mat away so that you've got this space to step this foot through into your low lunge. Again, maybe you give that foot a helping hand all the way through. Inhale, coming into this twist, left hand all the way to the back, right hand forward. Thinking about that stability, grounding through the big toe of the left foot. Breathing here, feeling nice and tall. Exhale, spinning all the way around into your warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, exhale, sweep all the way up and over, reverse that warrior. Exhale, all the way down to the ground, back through this low lunge. Inhale, exhale, start to straighten that leg. Next, inhale, planting the hands down, picking up this left foot straight back to your downward dog. Inhale, right leg high, three-leg dog, toes straight down to the ground. Exhale, tiger curl, bending the right knee, tippy toes of the left foot, drawing this right knee all the way through to the nose, really pushing the ground away, separating the shoulder blades, and then stepping this right foot through. Coming into your low lunge. Breathing here. Big inhale all the way up into your twist. Left hand forward, right hand back. Exhale all the way down into your warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, sweep all the way back. Exhale all the way down to the ground, into this low lunge. Exhale, straighten this front leg. Inhale. Exhale all the way back down to your low lunge. This time we're walking the hand around to the left side of the mat. Walking all the way back so that we're now in a low lunge with our left knee bent. Planting the right hand down, big inhale, easy twist. Reach this left hand high. Drawing the shoulder blades together, keeping this left hip dipping down. Try not to pick it up too much. At the same time, reaching this hand high. Drawing the energy through that right heel, pushing the mat away. Final inhale. Exhale, left hand all the way down. Crawl these hands all the way back through the left side of the mat. This time tucking our toes slightly inwards, coming into a wide leg fold, so folding from the hip joints. And then starting to take our chest to the crown of the head down to the ground. Absolutely bend those legs. Think about those knees pulling up to activate those quads to help to lengthen the hamstrings. Trying to think about those shoulders drawing away from the ears rather than scrunching up into your neck. Create length. Next inhale, walk all the way back to you're in your low lunge with your right knee bent. Planting the left hand down, big inhale, right hand all the way high. Breathing here. Pushing the mat away with the left hand. Reaching high with the right. Exhale, walk the hands all the way back round. And then coming down to the ground, coming into a wide leg fold. Grabbing your blocks. So legs out as wide as you want them to go. Think about these toes being flexed up to the sky. Knees straight up to the sky. Coming into a nice supported fold here, so that's where we've got our blocks or our kitchen rolls. And then we're just going to walk forward and then resting that forehead onto the block. Breathing here. Keep the feet pulling back, keep them flexed. Think about those hamstrings. How do we activate those hamstrings? By pulling up the knees. Activating those quads. Exactly the same as in our standing fold. Think about folding at the hip creases. Maybe you can walk those legs out into a slightly deeper fold. Really doesn't matter as long as you are breathing, as long as you are able to make your mind start to grow still. Final inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up, taking that block away. Hands onto the outside of those thighs, really slowly bring them all the way back into the center. Give them a nice big hug. Take your forehead down to the knees, feeling this stretch go down through the back of the neck, all the way down to the lower back, through to the tailbone. Final inhale. Exhale, wherever you are, start to make your way down to lying. Take the feet out to the edges of the mat and knock those knees in again. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Breathing here. Feeling that belly and chest rising with every inhale, with every exhale. Maybe you're closing down the eyes. Walking the feet back so that they're now hips width distance apart again. Taking the right foot, crossing it over the left thigh so the ankle is to the outside of the thigh, the right foot is flexed. Right knee drawing away from ourselves. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you pick up this left foot. Grab behind that hamstring or in front of the shin, and then draw this left knee towards your chest as long as you can keep the shoulders to the ground. If the shoulders are off the ground, just come out of the stretch a little bit. Breathing here. Keep drawing that right knee away. Taking that left foot down to the ground again if it isn't already. Grabbing this left hand, grabbing it onto the right ankle. Coming into our twisted reclined pigeon. So taking the right foot down to the left side. Taking this right hand all the way out long so we're in this twist. Gazing to the right side. Keeping this right knee drawing away from our bodies. Inhale all the way back through center, other side. Left foot flexed, ankle over the right thigh. Drawing that knee away from the face. Maybe you pick up this right foot, drawing this right knee into your chest. Breathing here. Making sure those shoulders are grounding to the mat. You've still got that foot flexed. You're still drawing that knee away from the face. Planting the right foot back down, taking hold of the left ankle with the right hand. Taking the left foot down to the ground to the right side. Left hand out long, gaze to the left. Keep drawing that left knee away to the front of the mat. Breathing here. Final inhale. Exhale. Inhale all the way back through center. Hug the knees into the chest and any extra movements you need before we come into our Shavasana. If you're ready, take the legs out long, close down the eyes. Hands away from the body, palms facing up. And just allow those feet to fall out to the sides. Breathing here. Feel all of that energy sinking down into the ground, that ground supporting you, giving you stillness. Keep here, keep in this moment. Just thinking about that breath. Just thinking about the belly rising and falling. With every exhale, feel another part of tension in your body leaving, so that you can grow heavier here. Any thoughts that cross your mind, just don't hold any attachment to them. Imagine they're a balloon, you've let go of that balloon and it's floating up to the sky. That thought, that balloon getting smaller and smaller until you just don't even think about it anymore. If you have got time, stay in your Shavasana. If not, start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Take that movement all the way up into your limbs. Big stretch, fingers and toes as far away from one another as possible. Bend up the knees, roll over to one side, bicep is your pillow. Keeping the eyes closed. And then push yourself all the way up to seated. Hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Feel the crown of the head lengthening. Feel that space in the chest and belly to breathe, expanding. Shoulders dropping away from the ears. Take the hands to heart center. Bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye, just in between the eyebrows. Take a moment here to hold on to something that has made you smile recently, however small. And once you've got hold of that thought, you remember exactly how it made you feel. How big was your smile? Did it radiate through the whole of your body? Did you have to tell other people because it was so cute or so funny? And just allow that feeling to sweep all over your body. Almost like you're remembering that moment for the first time. And remember that that thought is always in your mind. You conjured it back up right here. So if you ever need a moment, a quick pick-me-up, that could be yours. Coming to the end of our class, taking the hands away from the eyes and blinking the eyes open.